Niners are in the news. They are bringing in Delanie Walker for a workout, which I think is cool in the sense that I love Delanie Walker. He was on the Niners. I've covered Delanie Walker. He's a really cool guy. He's a grown-up. He was a great player. Underused by the 49ers. Also older than Joe Staley, which is an interesting, like 2 weeks older than Joe Staley, which is, younger than Frank Gore. So he's got that going for him. Should the 49ers sign Delanie Walker? What do you think, Jack?
Well, I don't see why not, right? This is a guy who they for whatever reason, they just don't like Ross Dwelley in that second tight end role. I don't know what it is really. And so going with Walker, he's an upgrade over what they did last year with Jordan Reed. So if they feel that they absolutely have to bring somebody in, go ahead and bring him in. If he's healthy and that year off that he was out last year, he had opted out of 2020. So if he's healthy and ready to go, he's an upgrade over Jordan Reed.
Yeah, if he's healthy and ready to go. I mean, that's like the same thing we said about Marquise Lee, though. And the thing about Delanie Walker is he turns 37 in August, and he didn't play last year. He opted out. He played 7 games in 2019, and he played 1 game in 2018. Maybe he's healthy now, but he's also 37. And I am the world's biggest Ross Dwelley fan. It kind of irks me that they won't just increase his reps. I mean, same with Richie James. Like the two of them, I don't get it. I think they both earned it. If they want to bring in Delanie Walker on like a non-guaranteed deal to see what he's got in camp and maybe use him as a third tight end or that's fine. That's fine. I just don't like the idea of taking snaps away from Ross Dwelley, but he's fine. I mean, if in a third tight end role, that would be quite intriguing. No question.
Yeah. Yeah. He's had a lot of productivity, and he was really healthy until, a couple of years ago. 2018 is when he got hurt and only played the 1 year.
He was great in Tennessee.
Yeah, he was. Up until that point, I don't think he really missed any time, other than maybe a game or two here or there. But for the most part, he was always healthy. And so, if he, like I said, if he's back and he's able to go, bring him in. And unfortunately, I think it's going to come at the if they bring him in, that's going to mean less snaps and less targets for Dwelley, and that's I just don't understand it.
Delanie's going to have to take it from him, and if they practice, I mean, maybe 33-year-old Delanie would have kicked Ross's butt. Nothing against you, Ross. But 37-year-old Delanie, I'd like to see what Ross can do. I'd like to see Ross isn't the fastest guy in the world, but he's 6'5". I mean, I think Ross can handle 37-year-old Delanie. Bring it on. Bring it on.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at their history and they put Jordan Reed in there, and Jordan Reed was
the practice champ, though. Here's the thing about Jordan Reed. You put him in a one-on-one, he would destroy he looked better than Kittle. He would destroy Ward, Tart. He's very – but so would Pettis look great in one-on-ones. The problem is 11-on-11s with full-speed hits. All of a sudden, it's like, man, I've had 13 concussions. That's when you saw Jordan Reed needed to retire. You didn't see it in practice. He looked great in practice. I don't know about Delanie. I guess we don't know if they're going to bring him in or if he'll stay healthy. But before we move on, for people who maybe are 13, I got a lot of 13-year-old fans, apparently. You may not know about Delanie Walker. Let's give him a little primer of how he started his career. They drafted him as a wide receiver out of college, right?
Yeah, they drafted him as a wide receiver. He actually was returning kicks, and they moved him to tight end. He was returning kicks. He was a core special teamer guy while he was here. And then when Harbaugh came around, he really bumped him up.
Yeah,
and they used him a lot. And he was. Them moving on from Delanie Walker, and they weren't going to be able to keep him, but that was really the downfall of that team.
I mean, and they replaced him with Anquan Bolden, which was like, hey, great. Anquan was terrific too, but they were so different. And that 1 year when they could have 2012 when they went to the Super Bowl, when they could have Vernon Davis, Delanie Walker, Bruce Miller, Frank Gore, and Michael Crabtree, Randy Moss out there. It was the most devastating 22 personnel package I've seen in a long time. It was very, very cool because the two tight ends were so fast. Delanie was he was a 4.5 easy, and Vernon Davis was like a 4.3.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's funny that you bring that up because as I'm hearing you talk about it, it sure sounds a lot like people complain so much about that Shanahan here, Harbaugh. But man, his offense was so much similar to in a lot of ways to what Shanahan does, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just overpower you in the run game, make the defense load up the box, and then play action, boom, right over the top. Now, but the way that the Niners would hit you was over the top to their tight ends. Now the Niners do it like that with George Kittle. It's fun to have George Kittle on that team. I guess it'd be cool to see Kittle and Walker on the same field together, but I just really want Ross Dwelley to get 100 targets next year. So I'm a little leery, but I think Ross can earn it. It's okay. Bring on the competition.
Yeah, I'm with you on Ross Dwelley, though. I really like him. I think they need to be using him more.
I think so, too.